Yo, what's good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got the most underrated cards in MLB The Show 25, and as you can see on your screen, this is the squad that I had in mind. I was going to reveal the underrated players position by position. Then I was going to jump into a ranked game with this squad and upload the gameplay for you. And I was recording. I was in the middle of a game. I was a tie game, 4-4, going into the bottom of the 8th. I was the home team, of course, in the game that just decided to crash. It was a little bit sus, but I'm not blaming my opponent for anything. So that sucks. I'm not going to be uploading the gameplay anymore. So I'm just going to give you who I believe are the most underrated cards at each position. And before we get into that, I want to say thank you. You guys have been killing it with the support lately. Honestly, keep doing what you're doing. I really appreciate every view, every like, and every single comment that you guys leave on my videos. And if you're new around here and you enjoy the video, drop a like and subscribe so you don't miss any future MLB The Show content. So let's get back into the video. Underrated cards. Huge shout out to these two guys here. These two comments are the ones that has inspired me and gave me the idea to do this video. So here we are. Huge shout out to these two gentlemen here. So starting off at catcher, we have this kid in Bodine. I don't know how you pronounce that. Good solid contact stats, no power. He's a defensive catcher with no arm, so he's not very valuable. Obviously, he has no quirks like most of the draft series cards. He's 5'10". His swing is whatever. None of these guys have good swings. I used him in the game that I mentioned earlier, and he made a swing where anybody else with better pop would have gotten the home run, but he didn't. So I don't think he is incredibly underrated because I don't think he's very good. But I catcher, there's literally anybody. I can think of anybody that's underrated. So he by default he's here. Plus, and he's a switch hitter. First base is where he gets a little bit interesting. I got this Matt Olson. He's the one that I was going to use for this video just because I didn't want to make it a platoon video. So he's very underrated for 5,000 stubs. He only has bad ball hitters, so not the best quirks. Amazing power with a Matt Olson swing. He's always very good. And the other guy that I had planned was, I think this Michael Busch Steel Fox, man. I think he's very underrated. He's great against righties, obviously, with a maxed out clutch. You're only going to play him at first, and he's only a platoon bat. So if you're on a budget, yeah, he's a great option. And he has some decent quirks, but he has first pitch hitter and bad ball hitter. So not the best quirks, not what I consider to be top 3 quirks in the game. But, those are still some good quirks. And he's a great platoon bat, but I think Matt Olson is just better because he can't hit against lefties. At second base, shout out to my guy J.O. Gleyber Torres. Initially, I was a little bit scared of that defense, but he's fine. He's not going to be awful, and that swing is going to play above his stats every day of the week. That ends with a Y. He's super good. I used his new threats at the start of the year. He's quick to value, so 5,000 stubs, one of the best swings in the game. And he has that red, probably the best quirk in the game. Bad ball hitter, not a bad quirk by any means. He's amazing. Brendan Lau, I replied to the comment saying he is the second best pure lefty bat in the game. I stand by that. I think he's only behind Kyle Schwarber, but he's pretty much perfect against righties. If you can get this guy, maybe you're a big Rays fan or a Brandon Lau. I know a lot of people love his swing. He's always a beer god. I really like his swing too. He's going to be maxed out contact and clutch if you get him to P5. Obviously, he's only a platoon bat. You're never going to face lefties with this card. That 80 contact is going to play very bad, but he has a quirk. So, this guy's a pinch hitter. He has the pinch hitting quirk. First pitch hitter. So not great quirks, but he has the swing. Obviously, you're never going to play this guy on the field. He is going to be terrible, unlike Gleyber. And finally, at second base, I wanted to give a shout out to this Brendan Donovan. I know I already talked about him in a previous video. I've mentioned him a couple of times. But if you don't have a God squad, you have to have this guy on the bench. He is a must-have on your bench. You can pinch hit for whoever you want, and then you can just sub this guy in. He's going to play everywhere on the field except center field, but with 53 speed, you were never going to play there anywhere. And besides, he has a very good swing, and his stats are not atrocious. 110 clutch. I think he's still very, very usable. He has unfazed, breaking ball, and bad ball hitter. So 3 of the most 5 important quirks in my opinion. Extremely underrated card. He's going to play good defense everywhere you put him. So we go to right field. This one was very tough. Hank Aaron. I used him. Didn't love him. Didn't get a single hit. I think I only got like 3 plate appearances. His defense is horrible. Like you see that and you see, oh, that's not too bad. He is bad. He had like a lot of red and yellow jumps. I don't think he's going to be great. His swing, bad. I'm not really sure if he's a push hitter. If it felt like he is, he has all the quirks in the game. First pitch, that red on face, breaking ball. Oh, he does not have bad ball hitter. Oh, whatever. But I think he's the only one that's kind of underrated because his stats are not bad. Maxed out clutch. And did I want to give a shout out to somebody else? Yeah, this Jake Irish, he can play catcher too, so kind of sneaky player here. Good, very good stats against righties. Not terrible stats against lefties. 108 clutch. Bad defense though with 48 speed. Not ideal, but I just wanted to give him a quick shout out. And yeah, he's the only guy that I think it's underrated. Hank Aaron. At center field, I went with his prime McCutcheon. Honestly, he got like a day, like a day of serviceable on this game. He was only relevant for a day or two. He came out and then immediately we got something else. But yeah, great stats, great hitting stats. Honestly, his defense it looks a lot better than it actually is. He's not going to be great, but he has the swing, he has the hitting stats. He's a righty, so he fits the meta. And I don't think anybody else here is underrated, to be honest. Maybe this Javi, but I wouldn't really play him in center field. I know he has very good defensive stats, but with 64 speed, I don't think I'd have the balls to play him there. And I wanted to give a quick shout out to this Mason Neville. If you play an all-star and you don't have Beltran, I think this is your center fielder. Like, look at these stats. He's gonna play good defense and great pop for a center fielder. I think that's a very good steal, and he's free. So we go to left field. I've already mentioned Ian Happ in my budget video. Great. He's a switch hitter with good defense on a very weak position. You can get him for 5,000 stubs. Doesn't get more underrated than that. And I guess Riley Green, he has a very good, extremely good Tigers tier 2 boost. If you've seen that video, you know that Tigers boost looks insane. But he's the only guy that I would say here is underrated. Everybody else, every other left fielder, everybody's rated them as garbage, which kind of unfair, but they're not good. Xavier Nians at third. This is the guy that I went at third. I used him. He has whatever swing, you know, none of these draft series guys have good quirks and good swings. He doesn't have any quirk, but he's 6'4", a host, 92 arm at third. That's all you need. He has pop, decent contact and clutch stats. He's going to be fine. I hit a nuke with this guy, 2-run shot on a bullshit swing, so he may have a glitchy swing. I don't know, but he was decent. And Gavin Feen, I talked about him on my honorable mentions on my top 5 players at his position. Look at these stats, man. He is very serviceable, extremely good, 112 clutch, good contact versus lefties. The power versus righties, you know, it's not ideal, but it's much better for a free card, right? Well, he's 6,000 stubs. He fits the meta. I don't think anybody else here is underrated. Maybe this Bregman, but I think people know how good he is. I don't think he is underrated. Shortstop, probably one of the most underrated cards in the game. Look at the stats, and look at the stats with the double boost that I was running for this video. Pretty much the perfect shortstop, 99 speed. He's not too tall, and the defense is not amazing. But for a free card, he is very, very underrated for sure. And this Steel Hall, I had him in my honorable mentions. He's pretty much Bobby Witt. I think he's better than Bobby Witt because he has better power, but he's not gonna have the defense, and he doesn't have Bobby Witt's swing, and he doesn't have quirks, but he's free. Bobby Witt is what, like 30k, probably like 30k. Avi Arquette, obviously another candidate here, but I've seen him a lot. He has a very good swing. I don't think he's underrated. I think people know how good he is. Did I have anybody else here? No, that's it. So that's it. Oh, I got this Brent Rooker. Yeah, this was the other right fielder that I was looking for. Extremely underrated. He's only a DH. You are never going to play this guy in the outfield, but he has a good swing. And he has the stats, man. 116, 117 versus lefties with 112 clutch. And he has a very good swing. Bro, I honestly, I don't know why people don't use him more. I don't really see him. And initially I had these two as the underrated pair. One lefty, one righty. You know how I like to do things. But this Hunter Brown, man, those stats are online. The game is glitched, but those stats are online. It's not as bad as it looks because one of those 3 games, well, no, 2 of those 3 games were like an inning on the events, and I was throwing him with no energy basically. But he gave up 4 runs in like an inning unranked. He was horrible for me. I was missing everything. He was throwing everything down the middle. I don't know if it was me, but I mean his control is terrible. I don't know what happened there, but I really wouldn't be using this Hunter Brown unless you need a spot start. And Chris Bovich, he was good. Like, he wasn't incredible, but he threw almost 6 innings, and the only runs he gave up were 2 pitches that I hang as change up, and my opponent wasn't even perfect on them. So I don't think I can really blame him. He was not amazing, but for a free card and someone that you are probably never going to see, if you need a spot start, I would trust Bovich more than I would Hunter Brown. Those were my 2 underrated pitcher cards. I guess I wanted to try this guy out too, but he doesn't have the speed differential. He seems like a Pedro. Again, I've also used him in the events, and he was nothing special. Jamie Arnold, I've already talked about this guy, so I didn't want to be, the same videos revolving around the same guys over and over and over again. So I decided I went with those 2. I also wanted to try this Max Fried, but I went with Bubich instead. And on the bullpen, obviously, as you can see, I needed all the assets that I can get so I can get to that tier 2 boost for Peña. But the righty and the lefty that I decided were underrated was this Ian Seimer. Like, this Ian Seimer is low-key kind of good. That changeup is a problem. He is very weird and funky, but he doesn't really throw hard, and he doesn't have like an out pitch. So if you're playing some of those opponents that are just blessed by the MLB The Show gods, you're going to give up a lot of foul balls until you give up a home run or a hit. So I don't think he's great, but he's definitely underrated. I don't think he's just straight up cheeks out of the bullpen. Obviously, I wouldn't use this guy on Hall of Fame. Jason Adam was the guy that I finally decided that it was underrated. I've used this guy 3 times out of the bullpen on ranked gameplay. I think I've used him on the Weekend Classic too. And you can see the stats here. They obviously don't look great, but hear me out. This is why I say you have to be objective when looking at pictures. The last inning that I pitched with him, it was on a game where I was up by like 7 on the weekend classic, and I was just, I just wanted to get the game over with. One thing I will say, do not throw the cutter with this guy. That cutter is straight up cheeks. He doesn't have any control on it, and he doesn't have any break, as you can see on your screen. So just forget about the cutter. You're going to throw it down the middle, and it's super slow that your opponent will just hit a perfect off of you. But other than that, this card is very good. Especially you can dot that slider and that changeup into a corner every time, and I'm always the guy that's known for hanging pitches. If you're already dotting with every card, every lever, every starter that you have, you need to get this card. He's very good. And did I have anybody else that I wanted to give a shout out to? This Evan Phillips, extremely underrated. He has been a dog for me, pretty much just locked down every time he comes in. But he's 20k now. He's only going to get more expensive, but honestly, this guy is incredible. I don't know why everybody doesn't have him. I mean, I guess with all the free options that we have, right? Like Randy 5,000, Bobby 5,000, and I get like someone like Bobby Suarez is more attractive than Evan Phillips, especially if you're on All-Star. But if you're on Hall of Fame, you need to get this card. Like, he is him. He's very good, bro. That sweeper is absolutely disgusting. It's probably nastier than Ottavino's. And yeah, those were all the guys that I had as the most underrated players at each position. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you agree with me or disagree with me on certain positions. And I would love to know who has been, or who do you think is the most slept on card so far in MLB The Show. If you're new around here, consider subscribing. If you enjoy the video, leave a like. Until then, I'll catch you later.